The incel. The fabled incel. Woman hater extraordinaire, misogyny monger. The incel. Incels have had a lot of problems, all right? Many a problem. And now being socially maligned is another big one. But you know what? Not all of them are too far beyond the pale for help. And this one was on r/change my view, where he opened up about the things that he was feeling and even asked for help from the community about where to go next. So I saw a little bit of this. I didn't read the entire thing yet. I read a couple of things, but I just wanted to see what you guys thought about it and what we can get from this, okay? Because I think there's some things that we can take from this. All right. Change my view. I am misogynistic, bitter, angry incel. Please help me change my toxic views. Extra edit. Please read 10 edits all the way down my post. All right. Read first. All right, here we go. We're diving in, boys. You ready? This might get long. Oh no. Wait, let me zoom in a little bit. Zoom. Boom. We've done it. This may be a long post, but I have a lot of toxic views. I really want to change them. I want to say why I feel so angry and bitter and misogynistic. I really want to change and improve myself and get rid of these hateful thoughts and beliefs. Also, sorry if it sounds like I'm ranting. I'm 18-year-old incel. Oh no, baby. He's so young and he's so angry. So young and so angry. How sad. I had some I didn't have like incel like feelings, but like hate women. But I was pretty sad when it came to like interpersonal relationships when I was about his age too. So the reason why I want to have sex with women so badly is because men who are virgins with no experience with women are losers and considered less worthy of respect. This is a really big thing, and like lots of people clown on this, but even like recently I saw on like even lefty Twitter how people would clown on people with no sexual experience. Specifically men get clowned on really hard with no sexual experience. When it comes to women, they're usually seen as, oh, it's like cute, you're cute and innocent. When it comes to men and not having any sexual experience with women, that's like a problem with you. There's something wrong with you. Lots of the ways that men experience their masculinity is through success with women. And so this can be a really toxic idea that, oh, you don't have any experience, you don't have any you weren't able to convince a woman to have sex with you. What's wrong with you? You're not a real man. And that's a real problem that he's going through. I'm 18 years old and I feel a lot of anger and envy towards teenagers, in particular when I see my age or younger than me, particularly boys, asking for advice on Reddit and anywhere else about having sexual relationships, or seeing parents posting about their teens having sex and asking for advice about it as well. And I especially feel upset when I see teens my age or younger in malls or anywhere in public holding hands and kissing. Oh, baby. Damn, just fucking at me next time, dude. No, I won't. You'll have to find it again. Dude, honestly, I feel like there's lots of people who've seen this sort of stuff. They don't like where envy is a hell of an emotion. It really is. It's really big, and sometimes it's really hard to control as well. That's sort of like jealousy and envy that you get when you see other people succeeding in places that you can't. I know, as like a content creator, that's something that you have to struggle with sometimes, where you see someone else like blowing up or something, or getting a lot of attention when you may not be at the time. And even especially when you don't think that they deserve it from their content. This is something that people feel a lot. Or it could be like a coworker at your work who got a raise before you did, when you know that you work harder and you're more deserving of a raise than they are. That's another really big thing. Where that sort of like being disappointed from where you think you should be, and what reality says where you are comes into play. That can turn into a lot, instead of sadness. And lots of people, it turns into one of two things. Well, it can turn into both for lots of people, but the majority of it can be like one of two things, which is anger or sadness. And it seems like this guy, it turned into a lot of anger. I've never convinced a woman to have sex with me. Only a non-binary person. Keep on chugging. You'll make it, I promise. The reason why I feel so angry and envious is because these boys have sex with attractive girls before me and are much younger than me. I feel that too, where I felt something like this too, where it's like, oh, like someone's succeeding in something and they're younger than me. Wow. Like, cause you've had more time on this earth to try, but they got it before you. We can touch on something along these lines a little bit later. I feel inferior and less of a man than these boys. I feel like these boys are more successful and more respectable than me. And I'm not saying women are trophies to be conquered, but from these boys having sex with girls, it shows that they're attractive, they're interesting, and they have qualities that draws girls to them. That they're more worthy than me. I am very hardworking and I have a lot of determination, resilience, and I have accomplishments quite a lot, and I've accomplished quite a lot for my age and other things. Yet no girl has ever given me a chance. So here's another. I'm glad that he said something like this, because I want to touch on this, like I said earlier. So when it comes to this in particular, right? Here I want to. These boys have sex with attractive girls, and they're much younger than me. I feel inferior than these boys. I feel they're more successful and respectable than me. Let me highlight this. I can highlight this? Yeah, let's highlight this real quick. Yeah, have a good stream. Yeah, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate that. Let's highlight this, all right? And I've accomplished quite a lot, yet no girl has given me a chance. Let me highlight this one as well. All right. So when it comes to this, what's important to understand and keep in mind is that lots of interpersonal relationships are incredibly luck based. All right. You can very easily luck your way in and out of a relationship. And lots of people who are in relationships, a lot of them, if you ask them, they not necessarily were they looking for one, but one just kind of found them, right? And that sounds like it's really like, oh, they had something about them, really. But honestly, just because that you may even be a great catch, okay? But you may not have any relationships. You just weren't lucky enough to find someone who wants to be in a relationship with you yet. And that can feel really heartbreaking because you can do a lot. I know a lot of guys, especially on like dating services and stuff, where they go through all the motions and they do all the things, and sometimes they may not have. But let's say for the sake of argumentation, they've done all the things, they did the things, right? But still, they have no success with finding a partner. Sometimes it's not only you doing the right things, but it's time as well. And sometimes the time that you wait can be a lot longer than other people. And it's really unfortunate. But it's really unfortunate also that we hammer in these feelings of despair when it comes to lots of guys, and basing their worth on like how much women like them. Like a really big thing that I heard was the value of a man is how many if you see a guy walking, right, the value of him is like how many women that he has around his arms. And like a high status man will have like a lot of women, but a high status woman will be alone. Like something I butchered that, but something along those lines, where lots of the times we view men by how much women like them, which can be really sad. It's really weird that they sound like they're doing well in a job interview. Should get you women. Sometimes lots of people, when it comes to these sorts of situations, lots of dudes especially, they want the thing, right? They want the cheat code. They want to tell you the button in. They want you to tell them what inputs they put in to get a girlfriend. And a lot of times it just really doesn't work like that. People are messy, relationships are weird, and they don't make a lot of sense sometimes. And that's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how the world works. There's no get rich quick scheme, and there's no get a girlfriend quick scheme, really. It doesn't really work. It's sad, but it be that way. Another reason why I also really want to have sex so badly is because I'm getting older, and sex at an older age isn't as enjoyable compared to when you do it at your younger years. Dog, you've never had sex before. I'm not sure if you can really say that. Actually, I kind of disagree with this. When you're younger, you have a lot less experience. You really, I don't know, when you have an experience with someone who's very experienced sexually, then I think you'll have a lot more fun than some like little pillow princess who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and doesn't know where their clit is. I'm gonna be honest. Teenagers have raging hormones and are much hornier and lustful than adults. Whoa, hang on now. I think a lot of people on lefty Twitter will disagree with you there. I'm not sure if the raging hormones necessarily makes the sex better. When you really like someone, I'm telling you, those hormones come back. All right, you're fucking 18, you little child baby, infant child baby. You're 18 years old. You're 18. Here, highlight this real quick. You're gonna be okay. I promise you. All right, dudes, we mature slower than women. I promise you, those hormones they're gonna be right there. They're waiting for you. Okay. They want to min max acquiring a sexual relationship. Yeah, they want to tell you what area to grind in to get enough to buy a GF. Therefore, even if I end up having sex when I'm older, what would be the point if I'm not even gonna have the same sexual excitement or fun? Bro, this is gonna be your first experience. You gotta like, sometimes expectations are really way too high as well. This is way too high to be thinking of yourself in here. You'll be perfectly fine. I don't know where they get this idea of raging hormones and it's gonna make you're gonna come the cum you have when you're young. You'll never have a cum like that ever again. This is just so false. This is a massive misconception. Teenagers aside, in general, I hate men who are successful with women because, again, it shows they're much worthier. They're much worthy, or they're more worthy and more of a man than me. This is so sad. Again, they're not. Just because women suck their dick does not mean they're more of a man than you. It doesn't work this way. Virgin men are ridiculed, mocked, and laughed at. If this didn't happen, that me and many other incels likely wouldn't feel this way. Well, I'm not necessarily sure about this necessarily, but the resentment you feel about being mocked for some way that you feel can lead a lot of people down some really bad roads. It leads people. This is why mockery isn't very good for people. Teenagers are so dramatic. Yeah, here's the thing, right? He's still a teenager, 18. This is how we know how he still has those raging hormones, because he's so dramatic. Oh, it's going to be the end. What's even the point of having sex when I'm 20? It won't even be the same. No, you're so dramatic, you baby. You'll be okay, I promise. It's gonna be perfectly fine. All right. But this is how this bullying people in this way does not work. It doesn't make them better. It just makes them resentful. It makes them crawl into themselves and feel bad. And then sometimes it even makes them feel resentful of society. All right. I don't know. Maybe we should have saved this for when I put the Joker makeup on. Who knows? This may have been good with the Joker face paint. We go. You wouldn't get it. You just wouldn't get it. Virgin is even used as an insult, and this is probably why we need to take away the whole like virgin as an insult thing. You know, just it's not very good. It's not very helpful, and it leads people down these paths. It's really bad. Gamers rise up. True. When this person is 18, bro, he's so young. He's got plenty of time. Yeah, we don't even know if he's moved out of his own house yet. Like, dude, you don't even have your own home. You don't even have your own apartment. You're still living with your parents, and you're going to talk to me about how your like life is being wasted away. Calm down. Being a virgin, especially a male virgin, and an involuntary one at that, shows that no one wants to sleep with you, and there must be something wrong with you. See, here's the thing, and here's this idea again, that there must be something wrong with you. If someone doesn't want to, if women specifically don't want to sleep with you, has to be something wrong with you. It may not just be that you're unlucky, or you haven't tried something yet, or you haven't gotten out yet, or you're just a little shy. It can't be any of those things. There has to be something wrong with you, fundamentally wrong with you as a human being. This is just factually untrue. This is not true. All right. Don't fall into that trap. Just sometimes it's a lot of the times with these sorts of relationships, it's just pure luck. But we do need to rise up. And my reason for my misogyny isn't because women don't have sex with me, but because women also mock male virgins. Sure, women are different in general, but being a virgin is considered to be a red flag for a lot of women. I'm not sure if this is true. When it comes to like being a virgin is a red flag. Now, what can be a red flag? What can tie into he may be like causation, and this may be a causation correlation sort of problem when it comes to this, right? If you're a guy and you have no women friends, you don't talk to women, never had a girlfriend, never had sex with women, but more in the vein of you don't have any women friends, you don't talk to women, that can be a red flag. If there's a guy who doesn't know any women on like an interpersonal relationship, that can be a red flag, because what's going on there, right? Women are people. I think most guys have one woman friend, period, at least one. It can throw some women off because, oh, what are you doing, right? What are you doing to not have any women friends? And one big problem could be you don't see them as people. Let me let me expand on that a little bit. You don't see them as people, right? You could see them as like prizes. Even if you don't want to, you could see them as like prizes or like something really different. Or sometimes I think some people even think of women as like a different race, a different ethnicity, a different nationality. They're just built different. Okay. You see a woman and they're just built different, and you can be kind of scared of them. You can be a little standoffish. You can be a little apprehensive in talking to them. You're not treating them like people, right? They're just a person. I promise you, you talk to this chick and you talk to her about things that you like. You talk to her about things that she likes, and you guys have some common bond, and you share like an Instagram, and you guys talk every now and again. You guys hang out like normal people. I promise you it's going to be fine. I promise it's going to be okay. But some guys, it's really hard for them to disaggregate like women that are like friends and women who are like dating prospects. And that like little muddy area makes them stay away from women, period, which can be a little bit of a red flag when you don't have any woman that likes you at all. Because liking a woman liking you as a friend and a woman liking you as a relationship partner can be two different things, right? Not every guy friend that a girl has is a potential dating partner to them. But women are built different, but they're not built that different. I think you can respond to a lot of these things he's saying as videos for your non-toxic masculinity series. Oh yeah, actually, absolutely. I think we can absolutely do that. I'll save this. And it could be we could use this a little bit later. But no, yeah, he's actually expressing almost every single view that I would like to fight against when it comes to the non-toxic masculinity series. Actually, you're really right. You're really right on that. This dude thinks that the vagina fairy should bring him some sex. Yeah, dude, he keeps putting his dick under the pillow, and he's waking up. He wants to wake up to the vagina fairy, so for some free pussy on his dick. But it just won't work like that. You got to try a little bit hard. You got to try to get a girlfriend, right? And even if you do try, you may fail. For some time, you'll probably get rejected. Remember, not every girl wants to be your your girlfriend. That's okay. You're gonna get rejected. It hurts, I know. But you're just gonna have to power through. Relationships suck sometimes. Well, getting into one sucks. Being in one can kind of be chill. But here, the mocking. Some women do mock men for being virgin sometimes, and I think that really sucks. Like the small dick sort of thing, like criticizing your masculinity when you, and mind you, he's still 18. He's barely even had time to even. I don't think he's had any time actually to develop the full breadth of his masculinity. He's barely even grown into it yet. He's too small to grow into his masculinity yet, and he's already here. Like, poor baby, calm down, okay? Here's one thing, okay? If you want to get past this, here's one really good thing, and this has been scientifically proven, all right? I won't tell you anything that hasn't been scientifically proven. We need to study people have thought the same thing this guy does, and they've spent time trying to study the woman. So when it comes to women, you know what can break through that red flag? Getting a woman friend, okay? I don't mean girlfriend. Get a friend who is a woman, talk to her, spend time with her, and hang out with her. Those things can really be good. Not only will it help you experience like women, but also when a girl knows that a guy has women friends, it can kind of take down that like standoffish that some women have, because lots of women are taught to be pretty standoffish when it comes to some guys. Sometimes they're pretty like closed when it comes to some guys sometimes, because, you know, they don't want to be assaulted. If you can have women around and you're not like actively assaulting them, and you treat them well, and you treat them with respect, and you treat them like people, a woman will be more likely to view you as not like a predator in that way. So that's also not only just, for one, you have friends by having more women friends, but two, it makes you more likely to be able to talk to some women out in the wild when you have a woman friend. No, that's hard. That is hard, actually. It is hard, actually, sometimes. I don't know. I like having women friends because when I'm looking for women, I can just go out and be like, hey, you want to hang out? And you know what? I can hunt for women while hanging out with one. And when women see you with another woman, you're like, whoa, cool. If you're not dating, then it's epic in Pog, you know? And also they can help you do things like help you pick out clothes. They can help you pick out cologne. It's cool. Wing woman is the best woman. True, especially if she knows you're her wing woman. Also, don't try to like use her as a tool. Don't use this to try and find like a girl who can be like a tool for you to help find a girlfriend. All right, have your wing woman. Okay, I know 3 girls that I could probably call up and hang out with, and they could be my wing woman and help me pull some girls. I know that they could. I know that they would do that for me. Because they're great. They're good people. Like if you have like a little talk and be like, hey, I need your help to find a girl. Lots of girls would definitely be down, especially if they think that you're really cool. Lots of girls would be really down if they think that you can be a catch for them. They can really help you get a girl. You know, and it's a little less weird if you're with rolling deep with a bunch of dudes and all your dude friends are like, hey, my friend over there thinks you're really cute. He wants to know if he can have your number. It comes off a little bit better when it's a girl, when it's another girl. It can. Sup? What's good, Jake? We're learning about incels real quick, okay? Also, I see a lot of attractive women dating and sleeping with such weird and ugly looking men without much return. True. I'm sorry. Truest thing I heard in my entire life. I'm highlighting this. True, dude. I can't tell you how many women that I know with awful, horrible taste in men. But here's another thing. Here's something crazy, okay? Women don't think as hard about looks than guys do. Women don't covet like your physical appearances as much as guys do. You talk to a lot of women, lots of them, what they think about when it comes to guys, lots of the things that they talk about, even if they do covet a lot of physical attractiveness, sometimes a lot can overcome that if you have a good personality, you're funny, and you click. If you do those 3 things, then I think you can overcome your looks barrier pretty well. There's a reason that like fat ugly dudes can like fuck. Can fuck. It's because they have good personalities, okay? And they're good people. And they're not as vain. Lots of people who could be really attractive, they kind of lean on that a lot. And that can help you deprive a personality. The majority of my friend groups in middle and high school were pretty evenly split between guys and girls, and that absolutely helped. Now my wife, my now wife was in high school. Oh my gosh, leave me, please. I can't even read this shit. Stop. This Discord message is in my way and I can't read this. I'm actually pissed. I gotta disable my Discord messages on my laptop. Shark, Pog. Hey, Breathe the Guy, thank you so much for the follow, for joining the frenzy and being so incredibly Pog. I appreciate you. Okay, let me try and read this now. My now wife was in high school, was a high school friend group before we started dating. Yeah, dating through mutuals can be a really good thing too. I know my last girlfriend, she was a mutual of a friend. She was a mutual of my friend's girlfriend. So my friend's girlfriend's friend is someone that I dated. And that worked out really well because I didn't know shit about her, but she was hot. And you know what? I found her and I talked to her and I made her mine. Hey, Jake, thank you so much for the follow as well, for joining the frenzy and being so Pog. You're also Pog right now. Let's read on a little bit. But yeah, like women really don't care about physical attractiveness as much as men do. So yeah, just you gotta build up that personality. All right, buddy. And I know that doesn't translate well on a Tinder account. That's why you have to find women in the wild. Okay, don't let them judge you by just your attractiveness, just your looks. Let them judge you by the content of your character. And I promise you, it's gonna be way easier for you to pull girls. I can tell you that much. For me, I know it's way easier for me to get talking to girls when I know them in real life, and I can walk up to them and I can pull the charm. You know, I can pull the charisma. Charisma is really hard to pull off through like text for one, and like a Tinder account, just that they're just scrolling past. It's really hard to give that off. So talking to someone in real life can be really beneficial to you. A lot of these men are not rich or handsome or very successful. In fact, if they were, I wouldn't feel so envious. I'd rather have women chase after successful and handsome men. I feel angry and hateful towards these men and the women because it shows that it doesn't take much for men to attract women, yet I struggle a lot in this fact that these men who are much worse looking and not even successful are able to start sexual or romantic relationships with women shows that something is wrong with me. and with my low self-esteem, it makes me feel even worse and manifests into very negative emotions. Not always, a lot of times it's insecurity. Yeah, well, so he basically touched on that here, right? So what can play into this a lot, when it comes to talking to lots of women, like confidence can be a really big thing. If you're like super scared all the time, I know some girls can think that's kind of cute, but some girls don't think that's cute. A lot of girls actually don't think that's too cute. Some girls think it's really cute. Some girls don't think it's that cute. Especially when it comes to like guys, when you have to initiate, you got to be the one that starts a conversation, and a lot of the times you got to be the one that holds a conversation and carries a conversation sometimes, and is the one that asks for the dates and stuff. Lots of women are kind of taught to just kind of sit back and wait for guys to do that sometimes. Not all women, but pretty decent amount kind of just are wait for the guy to make the move. Not having any confidence can be can be really difficult, and that can play off with that low self-esteem and low self-worth, even though he is, as he said earlier, that he was successful at the very least. I'm guessing when he says successful, I think he means like during school or like work. He's successful. He makes a decent amount of money. I would imagine for his age range. This low self-esteem can kind of manifest itself not only in negative emotions, but those negative emotions and the low self-esteem can manifest in the way he carries himself and the way he talks to people as well, or doesn't talk to people. He could feel so bad about himself that he doesn't think he's worth talking to these people, these women, and then it's even harder for him to talk to people if he's so closed down. Shark, we're gonna get a Discord to invade Finland. Okay, cool. Do your thing. Don't let me stop you. I hope you guys have fun invading Finland. Okay, just don't get hurt. All right, that's all I ask for. Don't get hurt. Aren't nearly all of these incels suffering from some entitlement syndrome? They want only women who look like a pop stars, yet 98% of the rest of the women are perfectly acceptable. So sometimes lots of people think that the entitlement thing is really big when it comes to incels. An entitlement can be there, but it's not always the way that they look. It's just entitled to women's time, period, or entitled to like. It's the idea that, and he displayed this as well. How earlier he was like, I'm successful in school, I'm successful in work, I'm like reasonably attractive, and he's like hitting all the buttons. It's the same way. It's the same entitlement that you get when you pick up a controller in a game and you realize that it's dropping inputs. You know, you press the button and you wanted your character to punch, but your character didn't punch, and you feel entitled to that punch because you did all the prerequisites. So you think that you should get the end point, right? When it comes to relationships, they don't really work like that. They're not transactional in that way, where you dress well, you look nice, you have a good personality, you're successful business wise, you can carry yourself well, you have a lot of friends, you're introspective, like this, that, and the third. That doesn't guarantee you people's time, which can feel really bad, because you're trying really hard to get like a relationship, and you thinking you're doing all the right things, but it's not panning out in the way that you want. So that can be it can be that form of entitlement there, that you think that you're doing everything right and everything's and nothing is working the way that you want it to. I mean, on Reddit there's this beautiful woman. I have been following her for a while and masturbate to her posts. Buddy, we didn't need all that information. Here, I'm highlighting this just to keep this. All right, listen, this is actually negative trait. A negative trait right here. All right, we didn't need this information. Share a little bit. Say less. Okay, say less. Who posts nudes on Reddit and has an OnlyFans that she posted a new video of her having sex with this new guy who she never posted before. Say less. Here, what's up, Jack? In the comments, it turned out that it was one of her OnlyFans followers, since she met up with him for sex. She replied to a comment and said that he paid her and he didn't, and that he didn't, my bad, and said that he paid her, that he didn't pay her anything, that she had sex with him, and because she was looking for a new sex partner, he sent her a nice, respectful message, and they had a nice chat. This guy wasn't even good looking, but the fact that he was below, in fact, he was below average. He was very fucking scrawny. Oh no, is he a gym cell too? Is he buff? And he's like, this skinny fucking Woody fucking bitch, she fucked her and I can't do it. You know? And he flexes in the mirror and he's like, these muscles can't give me a woman. Here, let me say. Here, I want to highlight something. She was looking for a new sex partner and he sent her a nice, respectful message and they had a nice chat. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, my dude. Women don't care that much about physical attractiveness sometimes. He was nice. He was nice and respectful. And you know what? That opened her up to have a chat. And you know what it ended up in? Pussy for him. All right? And you jerking off to his dick. Look, you got cucked. You got cucked, my dude Reno. And you know what? It's okay. Every dude gets cucked at some point in time. Even the dude that you look at this man and you think this man is uncuckable, this man has been cucked. Not only has he been cucked, he's been cucked by a dude who's uglier than him. You know why? Because women are built different and you gotta think different to gain their trust. This guy's incredibly jealous of everyone. Holy shit. Well, the jealousy plays into a lot of this attitude a lot. He was below average. He was very scrawny, and he had such a weird penis. See, the girl doesn't even care about the shape of his dick. Wait, I gotta highlight this. He had such a weird penis shape, and his dick wasn't even big. Dude, this guy must have been losing his mind when he's been spending all of his time beating his dick to this chick who's hot as fuck apparently, and this dude who wasn't even, in fact, he was below average, okay? Wasn't even handsome, didn't even have a big dick, but he was nice, and you know what? He got the girl. This can tell you a whole lot. The thing is, what's really unfortunate is that we've conditioned lots of these people to think that people who are succeeding, who have less than them, let's say like you aren't as attractive or your PP is not as big or that you have less than someone else. Let's say in this context, let's say you have less than someone else, right? It should be uplifting that someone who has less than you is also succeeding. But for these people, this is not a success. It's an indictment of their character when they don't exceed as much as the other people. It's an indictment of their character when it absolutely is not. That should mean that there's hope. There's hope for you. That you have what it takes, at the very least physically. But these people don't think of it like that. Biggerino, shush. Different strokes for different folks is what I say. Yeah, sometimes the dick is just perfectly her size. Okay. Also, let me tell you, my dudes, you don't have to have a 16-inch horse cock for women to like you. Okay, I promise you. I can tell you this: 5.5, sometimes even just 5, it can be very fine for lots of girls. All right, they can tell you this. Actually, these days I see a lot of girls speaking out. All right, speaking out. Doing activism against fat cocks sometimes. Sometimes it's just too big. It's too big and too scary. He had no wealth, no good looks, not even big or good looking penis. Wait, was he rating his dick? All right, man, you got to calm down a little bit. His dick didn't even look good. Girth over length every time. Yeah, you gotta expand her like little water balloon. You gotta fill her. And this fucking whore chose to sleep with him sleep with him over a nice and respectful message. Oh, here it is. Here's the anger. Here's where it is. Because before he was like, it was showing, but he wasn't as angry. Here's where the anger comes in. He had no wealth, no good looks, not even a big or good looking penis. And this fucking whore chose to sleep with him over a nice and respectful message. They're also flirting a bit in the comments. And this dude said that he almost lost his mind when he saw her naked and had sex with her several times. Several times, not even one. He smashed it several times and he's losing his mind, dude. I mean, that must be extremely, uplifting for your psyche, for a very, see, even this guy is falling a little bit to the same things that this guy is. Here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing is these two guys could be falling for the same exact trap. They're just on two sides of the aisle when it comes to this. Okay. This guy could be falling for the trap when he said he lost his mind when he saw her naked and had sex with her several times. He could be falling for the trap that's like his now his worth as a man is boosted because he had sex with a girl who's extremely pretty, and lots of people, think is very pretty. Even this guy, remember he masturbated to several times. He could think that his worth as a man is now more, and this guy thinks that his worth as a man is now less because they buy into the same system that thinks that their worth is determined on women who have sex with them. Dude is just frustrated that he beat his dick to a guy with a weird small dick. Yeah, it was weird, it was ugly, and it was small. I have talked with this girl. I've talked with this girl on OnlyFans a lot, and I've followed her for a while. I spent a lot of money on her, like a lot, and she barely responds to my messages. And when we do talk, she doesn't seem interested in me. Yet she met up with this dude for sex over a message. The way that he could send his messages, we don't have information on these messages, but the way that he sends his messages could be a really big thing as well. Or she just could not be. I don't know. Maybe this moment in time where he messaged her and she saw that message, she was looking for a new partner, and when he did, she wasn't. And that's the luck that I'm talking about. Sometimes it's just pure luck when it comes to girls, dude. You're okay. It'll be okay. I promise. It's not an indictment on your character. Not just him sent a cyber attack on her as well. Not just him, but sent a cyber attack on her as well. To put into words how angry I was. Wait, this didn't put into words how angry you were? All right, here we go. Now here's the real entitlement. Okay, I'm kind of scared to read this part. Dude, look how purple this got. It's so purple now. This guy probably thinks the sex toys are his competition instead of his allies. Oh my gosh. I've never heard something so true in my entire damn life. Holy shit. You look at her fucking dildo and it's bigger than your dick, and then you think now you're in a fucking competition with an inanimate object. Holy shit. I have never, actually, no one has ever said anything in my chat so incredibly true before. Never before. My mind is fucking blown. True. Okay. You look at, he's right, dude. You look at her collection of fucking sex toys and the one that fucking spins and jerks and twists and flips, and you look at that shit, and then you look at your dick and you can't do it. I'm sorry, the head of your dick doesn't spin at 1,500 revolutions per minute to do a full fucking Power Rangers assault on her clit. You can't do that. All right. And then you look at her sex toy, her like little rabbit sex toy, and you think that you're now in a competition. You're fighting the toy. You're in a no holds bar fight over your masculinity with an inanimate object she bought off of Amazon, dude. I have never heard something so true in my entire life. I am shook. I didn't read this part fully. Let's go back to this part. I felt so angry that I actually went to hack this guy and steal his personal information. Not just him, but send a cyber attack on her as well. This is the anger, right? The lashing out. And this is the part, the really sad part, the lashing out, right? I remember Dr. K, he talked about something like along these lines a little bit before when it came to like League players. We all know like League players are a piece of shit. Well, most of them. Some are nice. Don't let Bones know. Don't tell Bones that I said that, okay? But some League players are kind of shitty. But like mobile players in general, or like video gamers, okay? Let's talk about gamers for a second. Let's say you have a bad day all day. Let's say you sleep through your alarm, and you go into work, and then you get scolded by your boss, and then you get yelled at by customers, and it's just a bad day all around. Your legs hurt, your feet hurt, you're just annoyed. You try and go get some. You realize that you have to pay for gas, and you don't have all the money that you need to in your car, in your card, and it's just a whole problem. And you lost a $20 bill today. Okay, it just fell out of your wallet. It's gone. You lost a $20 bill. You got to stand on your new shoes. It's just a really bad day. Okay, let's say this. You go home, you sit down at your computer, you let out a really big sigh, you take off your shoes, you sit down, you load up League of Legends, you play 5 games, lose all 5. Not only that, you have people feeding on all sides, all right, on your side. You play another game, you're like, okay, this game's gonna be better. You get another feeder, all right? Every single game, people give up. You have someone like AFKing in the fountain. You're just like having an awful time playing games, all right? Awful, horrible time playing games. And then that next game, that 6th game, you can't stop playing, right? And you're angry, you're pissed, all right? You're slamming your keyboard, you're using every single slur that you can without getting your account banned, okay? And you're just angry. And that 6th game, you know what you do? You go, you look at the luck that you've gotten, and you look into the universe, you peer into the void of the universe, and you say, you know what? You said fuck me. Fuck you, universe. And what you do, those next 3 games, you feed. You run it down mid, you fucking feed, you troll your teammates, you try and get them killed. You don't do shit. You're just a piece of shit. And you know what? You're laughing. You're laughing the entire time while you're giving back to the universe what it gave to you. The only thing that you did was make other people's lives worse. You didn't there was no retribution that was done. The universe doesn't care. It didn't matter. It didn't give that to you because it didn't like you, and it didn't take offense when you did that too. You're not exacting any sort of justice on the universe. All you're doing is making other people's lives worse by trying to make yourself feel happy about it. To try and get back, to try and do something. We as people, we always want to try and take agency over our situation. And so making other people's lives worse is one way that we kind of try and take agency over our situation. If we've gotten something that if we've gotten a raw deal, if we can give someone else a raw deal, that's like some agency. And then we feel like some justice is being done, even though in all actuality, all we're doing is making other people's lives worse. Playing League will be outlawed after the revolution. Honestly, at this point, that sounds like a kind of a good idea. Oh yeah, they play League. I'm in multiple Discord servers about technology and computers since I want to expand my knowledge about the tech and become an engineer in the future. This is also a problem. Okay, this is also a problem. Not a problem as in it's stupid of him to become like go into IT or whatever. It's a problem because his hobbies now exclude a lot of women. Lots of women aren't in these spaces. Well, one big reason is because the people like him are in these spaces when they hate women and want to hack them for having sex with other dudes, right? But when you have hobbies that don't have a lot of women in them, it's really hard for you to talk to lots of people who aren't in these spaces, especially one that's as technical as being a, let's say, computer science engineer, whatever he's wanting to try and go do. It's harder as well. You should be able to, if that's the case, you should try and pick up some other hobbies that kind of can make you more well-rounded when it comes to having more women in those spaces. Just give it a try. See if you like it. In one of the servers, there's a group of guys who are very good at hacking and have done a lot of serious illegal things. They also do things such as pirate games and movies and jailbreak devices. I'm good at computers, but not as much as these guys. I'm good friends with them, and I asked them to hack someone for me to teach me how to do cyber attacks. Turns out learning how to hack is very complicated and can take years to learn and master. And even just committing a cyber assault on someone on the site can take a very long time as well, from months to years. I also asked to hack him instead. I also asked him to hack him instead for me. They said sure, but depending on the attack, it would take a while, and it won't make any promises. Dude, what the fuck? This dude is just a bad guy. Yeah, it seems like he's just a bad guy here as well. I can have some sympathy from some things that he's going through, but he's just kind of a bad guy. And I also think this should be like, he should be like fined for trying to do something like this. Actually, just kind of a shitbag for this one. It's kind of ridiculous. This is when I realized I was probably taking things too far over something so stupid. Apparently he snapped out of it. I want to change and learn. My bad. Let me restart this. He does need therapy as well. I really want to change and just learn how to become a man without having to be in a sexual or romantic relationship with anyone. That's That's also one thing is that's really big as well. If you're not happy alone, you're not going to be happy in a relationship. If you're lacking something in your life, a girlfriend is not going to fill that in for you as much as she may tell you that she can. She won't. That sort of like introspection, that sort of like completement, fulfillment that you get as a person doesn't come from some chick. It comes from inside of you, my king. All right. I have a lot more beliefs and views for reasons why, but it won't make this post. But it'll make this post even longer, so I'll just leave it at that. Please change my views. All right. So this is the end of his original post. He went on to talk to add a bunch of addendums to this, and there's some people who really kind of wanted to talk to him about some of the shit that he was hearing. So I guess we can go into that, right? I appreciate you taking the time for this post. That said, you're 18, which is comparatively young. I'm a guy who didn't get laid until college. True, lots of dudes don't get laid until like college. I know I didn't, so it'd be that way. Saw plenty of friends hook up with girls in high school. I felt supposedly I felt a sense of jealousy. No reason to bring anger into the situation. If you are feeling angry, that likely is a misplaced emotion. Ask yourself if there's anything in your life that you should be angry about, but aren't. The only advice I can give you is that being bitter and toxic will only keep you further and further away from forming meaningful relationships with anyone at all. The world owes you nothing. Women owe you nothing. You're in this on your own. Get comfortable with that notion and comfortable with the idea of not blaming anyone else for your shortcomings. Despite any shortcomings you may have, there will still be plenty of people who will love and will be attracted to you if you cultivate a good attitude. In short, all things in good time. You're young. If you have a whole life ahead of you. And I'd hate to see you stifle that with your current attitude. Be optimistic and don't spend all of your time focusing on what you don't have. Focus on cultivating positive qualities and skills that you do have. Focus on bettering yourself. If you do that, in time, a partner will come. Yeah, I think I agree with just about most of that. You have to build something up for yourself. For people, yeah, you have to have someone there for people to come by and see you and actually have something to like. If you don't have anything there and all you have is like your bitter scorn, there's not really anything that you can offer people when it comes to a relationship. You have to build something up with that. Sex gets better with age, not worse. Yeah, this too, like the idea that sex gets better the younger you are is just so false. Like what people with like more experience can really do is they can do some crazy shit. Okay. Girls who have a lot of experience when they're older, they can do some crazy stuff. I promise you this. Not like I would know personally, but I've heard. Good on you for making the courage, taking the courage to make this post. It's rather misogynistic. Misogynistic film, but it might get you to relax a little. The 40-year-old virgin. And yes, sex gets better with age. And the worst sex I've had was losing my virginity. This is actually kind of true. It's also much better with someone that you love really deeply. Sounds cheesy, but I swear by it. Sex addicts are all I call severely soul sick. Sex addicts are what I call severely soul sick. Now this is just bad. It was bad. I don't know. Well, I don't know what they mean by like sex addict. Obsessed and excessive and overly casual sex can lead to a lot more serious mental and emotional problems. So I don't know what to be like obsessive and excessive. If you're obsessing over having like lots of casual sex, then there's probably like a problem with you got to like tone that down a little bit. But I'm worried to buy into that sort of framing because lots of people use this as a proxy for being anti hooba booba, if you know what I mean. I would like a study on that. Okay, dweeb, calm down. A small addition, but your toxic feelings can form a spiral of doom where women might get bad vibes from you over your feeling towards them. So you don't get close relationships with women, including sexual ones. So you get even more angry and more jealousy, which women might pick up on. True. Women can smell your fear. They can smell your jealousy and anger. They can sense it the moment you walk up to them. Free yourself from such bindings. Free yourself from such hatred. This is true though. Women can smell your fear. Lots of people say it's not true, and lots of people say it's weird. It's not true. And most of the people who tell you that are other women, and they're lying because they're hiding their power level. It's factually correct, all right, that women can smell your fear and your jealousy and your anger. They can do it. They can sense it. You're allowed to feel sad, self-pity, of course. People out there have something you want, but anger is unproductive. That's true. You can feel sad. You can feel self-pity. You can even have like a low self-esteem, but you should be able to fix that. You can feel bad about your place in life, but don't sit on that and let that turn into anger. Why? Enjoy the cringe? What have you done? Oh no, I saw this. I saw this dude. Yeah, he's like a piece of shit. He's a really bad guy. Oh, wait, calm down. Wait, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Listen, you're a really cool guy. I really love your hat. Man, look at that. Ooh, baby, look at that unsafe gun usage. Man, really interesting. Curious that. It's really interesting. As soon as like people of color start getting shot to death, they start to use their Second Amendment right against them. Was she shot his phone? Do you remember that? Where what's that one video? Remember that old video where this girl was like playing with her phone, and then she like shoots it. She shoots her whole phone. Remember that? Ah, that was hilarious. Good times, good days, good days. Advice for those questions, you could write a book about it. You give any personal advice. Not all sex through hookups. I was never part of the casual sex world. I don't know how it works. Presumably, most important thing is having an attractive first impression. Work out, get more confident. Look for longer relationships. Compatibility matters more than first impressions. I was friends with my girlfriend before we were going out. Yeah, that's also true. You can beat the friend zone. You can do it. If you find the right girl and you realize that you're both are clicking. I mean, a really big thing, all right, that some people just don't get. Ask, all right? If you don't know, ask. You can just ask. It's okay. There are lots of girls who could just tell you. I think lots of people would be a lot more happy if instead of people just assuming one thing or another, and you can not waste as much time by assuming one thing or another just by asking. Ask her, do you like me? That's what that can work too. You want to go on a date. Do you think that this can go any further between us? Do you think that we could have anything more between us? These like sorts of questions on these sorts of ideas that you can have. Remember, there's like two people here. You need the other girl that's there. Want to smash? I mean, not wrong. Let me smash. I mean, asking Becky if you can smash. I mean, honestly, true. I'm sorry. Not all of us. Some of us, all right, like me, are really bad at reading people, really bad at reading women, particularly. Okay. So me, personally, I ask. Just ask her. You want to do something? You want to know something? You want to know what she's thinking? Instead of trying to be like 10 brain fucking Dr. Xavier, you're going to like peer into her mind and figure out everything that she believes through like subtle like body motions and stuff. Like, oh, she touched your shoulder one time, so she wants the dick. Like, guy, ask her questions. She's right there. Ask her questions. I promise you. More likely than not, if you sit her down in like in a comfortable sort of position where everyone has outs at any time, and you ask them these questions, that they're more likely than not going to give you positive answers, or truthful answers, especially if they care about you. Asking is always better than not asking. Asking for consent will not ruin the mood. True. Asking for consent is not ruining the mood. I have asked for consent several times when I was hanging out with girls, and you know what? They all took it very nicely. They liked it. Here's one thing, okay? Listen up, my duders. In my personal experience, you can really blow a girl away by not being rapey. Wild. I know. It's actually pretty sad. But you can really blow a girl away by not being rapey. I cannot tell you how many times that I've like made moves on a girl, and you know what? I make a move and she's like, I'm not really comfortable with that. And I go, you know what? That's perfectly fine. Whatever makes you happy. And there, right there, in that moment, they'll be blown away. They'll lose their mind, okay? When you when they tell you no to something, or they're not comfortable with something, and then you go, that's perfectly fine, that's okay, and then you back off, they'll be like, whoa, it's wild. I know what happened to me last time I had a girl over. We're doing some stuff, and then she said, I'm not comfortable with that, and I said, that's okay. And you know what? Later, she was comfortable with it because she asked me. Gotta say, I've hung out with a lot of girls, and they really enjoy my non-rapiness. True, the non-rapiness in guys is a pretty desirable trait. All right, you gotta learn how to be unrapey. I promise you, it's gonna work out well for you, my deuterino. You guys gotta try it out. Give it a little bit of a spin. Give her a little bit of a spin. Try her out. You may like it. You may like it. It's cool. And you know what? Even if they're not comfortable, like then them knowing that they can be comfortable with you, like turning you down, can make you even more attractive. Sometimes as well. And you know what? When they knowing that you're open to that, like questioning, they can be more likely to come to you and ask you, want to smash? When they need some smashing, okay? When they need their back blown out. That's a Sigma male move. Yeah. I'm having a Sigma moment. Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. You'll be they'll be more likely to come to you because they know that you won't be like super pushy or super rapey, and you respect their boundaries. And I think most girls want to be with a guy that respects their boundaries, actually. Yeah, and also looking for longer relationships. I don't mean like relationships just as in like girlfriend. Look at relationships as in like friends, right? Someone that'll be your friend for a decade or more. That these are the sorts of relationships that you want to make and foster like good ideas in your head. At the end of the day, you want to improve your odds. And remember, it's still just odds, all right? A lot of it is just luck as well still. You won't always get it on the first try. Sex in the older age is more enjoyable compared to doing it in your younger years. Said no woman ever. Yeah, that's how you know this guy really doesn't talk to women. He said that shit. First off, props for recognizing toxic feelings and wanting to change. Yeah, there's also I'm really happy for him that he realized that he was being really toxic. That's a really great thing, actually. Lots of these guys, they don't understand when they're being toxic. Really want to say thank you for the advice and the encouragement, unlike other people in this chat who don't take me seriously or understand me. True. All right. And you know what's a really great thing is that I suspect a lot of these people commenting are dudes, and we won't fix any problems when it comes to men and women's relationships unless lots of these conversations are had between dudes, right? And it seems like this is a really great thing. There's a lot of bullshit out there, from virgin jokes to small dicks jokes to shitty marketing campaigns and genuinely hurtful propagates this idea that having more sex equals more of a man of a higher value. Getting out of the incel nice guy TM mindset takes time. I can't do it all in one post. Say, please, please, please stay away from the sexual marketplace, please. I beg of you, stay away from the sexual marketplace. This no dude who is successful with women actually subscribes to like the freaking alpha, sigma, beta, omega shit. Okay, I promise you that it does not happen. None of them subscribe to that. Where everyone is quantified by sexual worth, and you rank everyone on an absolute scale. Doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. It's unfair that only rich, tall, big dick, successful, insert whatever quality here guys get laid. It's just not true. It's just factually untrue. All the while you're directing your attention outward and projecting your toxic mindset into everyone else who absolutely do not know, while you're ignoring what actually help in development and relationships with other people, which is working on yourself. Actually help you develop relationships with other people, which is working on yourself and how you express yourself to others. Look, women are people too. Hey, we did it. A really big thing. Listen, boys, women are people. I'm coming out. I'm saying it. Women are people. They get horny and they're attracted to people just just like you. They can 100% pick on the fact that instead of treating them like a complicated, flawed human with their own desires, you're treating them like a puzzle to unlock some game where they're a checklist that you have to figure out to complete to get a prize. Yep. Yup, that's my dude right there. This is my dudes right here. That's a good one. Oh, they changed the little upvote thing. It's down here. Little upvote. Boop. Okay. I want to say thank you so much for the advice and the encouragement, unlike other people. There are things I'd like to say about the things you write, though. I think this guy needs to get into like a Discord chat with some dudes to help him out, you know? This guy needs to get with some dudes to just be bros. And I really don't think that this guy has friends. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that he talks, it really makes me think that he doesn't really have any like real friends to help him out. There's a lot more that needs to go over that we can go over in here. But there's just so much to talk about that I'm not sure if we really can. But changing your communication style, focusing on plutonic relationships, and look for women for mutual respect are really big things that can really help you learn and grow. I want to see what this guy kind of learned at the end. Thank you again so much for encouragement and all of the advice. I will reply to as many comments as I can to converse with people in comment section and in my DMs. I'm still willing to hear some advice and encouragement from some people who will comment sex or lack of sex and not make you any less of a man or a human being. I am ready to accept that. Aw. He learned a little something. And at the end, it seems like he's working on improving himself. My mindset hasn't 100% changed, but my eyes and my mind have been opened to more. And know that women are not the issue, nor the men they sleep with. It's me. Only I can fix my issues, and I am ready to become a man and stop viewing women as sexual beings. I am more willing to just be friends with them. Oh, it looks like he learned something at the very end. He hasn't changed completely. You don't change people's minds when it comes to all this hate that's born like kind of harbored inside of them. You don't change it overnight, and you don't change it with a single Reddit post. That doesn't happen. But this guy, it seems like they planted the seed in this guy, and they pulled another guy out of the misogynistic incel red pill sort of rabbit hole, in the sexual marketplace rabbit hole, and they're now ready to accept a more just and fulfilling way of life. I'm really happy about that, and I hope this could do the same for other people as well.